Hello ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Paul Shopper here, and today we're going to take a deep, detailed look at Wukong's abilities, how to combo with them effectively, and my opinion on the new hero. This isn't a full guide, and I plan to make another Wukong video for the weekend coming up, covering what roles you can play in him and the pros and cons of each role, as I see way too many people getting confused on that, so do subscribe to stick around for that video. Finally, do let me know what you think of Wukong in the comments down below. So let's begin, shall we? Wukong is an order and corruption melee carry, with a small health pool and great basic attack scaling. His abilities give him plenty of options and evasive moves to escape or trap his enemies to their impending doom. Only one of his abilities, being Staff of Legends, actually costs mana, so everything else is a passive or costs no mana, which is kinda crazy. I know carries shouldn't have to worry about their mana that much, but you shouldn't be able to spam low cooldown abilities over and over without punishment. Anyway, let's get into the first and most important ability, being Control Aggression. This is the ability that makes Wukong change his stance. There is a cooldown for 1 second for changing stance, and it's clear which stance you are in. Orange for offensive, while white is defensive. Depending on the stance, abilities functions will change, but we'll get to that on each ability when we get to it. Control Aggression also has a passive. Minions will light up randomly when Wukong is near them. There's a 25% chance a minion could be chosen. His head will actually light up when this happens. The minions, which can be jungle, lane, river, buffs, or even raptors, they will have a red orb inside them, so it's very hard not to notice it. So you are in the offensive stance, you gain extra card point experience per last hit in that minion, 20 at level 1 and a whole 100 at level 4. This gives him the chance to farm up much better than other carries. The defensive stance gives him extra health per every last hit on those targeted minions, 40 health at level 1 and 100 at level 4, just to give you an idea. So pretty simple so far. Use offensive if you want to farm more, and defensive to regain health. So now his first proper ability is Cloud Walker. It has no mana cost and a rather low cooldown. So first you trigger the ability by pressing space or whatever your jump button may be. This will jump you in the air with both stances, however once in the air, depending on what stance you have, the ability will change. If you are in the defensive stance, you will walk in the air for 3 to 4 steps before landing back on the ground. You gain an extra 250 speed buff for 1 second while in the air than normal movement speed, making it easier to escape or flank your opponents. In the offensive stance, instead, once you have jumped up into the air, you will slam down your staff, doing AoE damage and giving it a movement slow debuff for 2 seconds for anyone that got damaged. The radius is only 300 units, so you have to be deadly accurate with it, that's for sure. The damage isn't the best and neither is the scaling, but the slow is rather significant, and the main reason you would want to use this ability to keep enemies you are jumping on locked down enough for you to deal the damage necessary. But you will have to learn how close you have to actually get with someone to slam them. Too many times in the game have I tried to slam someone for them just to be out of reach. His next ability is Staff of Legend. This does have a mana cost even if it's a low one and a locked 12-second cooldown. So in the defensive stance, you will gain an evasive jump by extending your staff on the ground. This is a directional leap that can be used to dodge or catch up your opponents very quickly. You move at a decent distance with it too, the units are not known. In the offensive stance, you stay on the ground and extend your pool to push enemies and your clones from your ultimate up to 900 units away. This ability does decent amount of damage and has a rather good damage scaling too. This would be great to push enemies into danger or away from you. Like I said, can push clones too, so you can push your clones onto one of your enemies to quickly finish them off. Talking about his clones, let's get into that because I hear a lot of different answers to what it can do and not. So his ultimate 84,000 hairs first is a passive. Once you unlock it, each basic attack hit on any minion, structure or hero will spawn a clone. This clone is immobile and will stay there for 5 seconds or after 3 attacks, dealing a percentage of Wukong's basic attack damage per each of those 3 hits. For example here, I am dealing 95 damage, so each swing of my clones will do 20% of that basic attack damage, being 19 damage. You can only have 4 clones at once. So first thing here, the attacks don't help with lifesteal, but they can crit. They will have the same crit chance as you do. Due to them stopping after 3 attacks, attack speed will help them deal that damage quicker. Once one despawns due to time or attacks over, another will spawn if you keep attacking. When spawned, they won't attack with your first attack, so there is a little delay. This is amazing for farming and pushing lanes, as it deals that damage to towers, which people have been complaining about how easy it is to destroy inhibs early on with this ultimate. You can solo orb within 10 to 15 seconds once he's leveled up. When the ultimate is unlocked, you can farm crazy well. You combo this with your stance, and even if you're in the offensive stance, you can gain a lot more CXP very quickly. So now that's out of the way, I'm going to go over a few combos that can help you play him better. I will go over builds and playstyles in my role video at the weekend like I stated at the start of the video. The first combo is to quickly punish an overextended target. Start at the defensive stance and clown work over the enemy quickly. Doing this as a surprise almost like a gank would be best. Once you have jumped over them, you can change to your offensive stance easily and use your Staff of Legends to push them back into your team. If not, start attacking them, then push them back away from safety to keep attacking them to hopefully finish them off, give them the maximum time to deal the damage necessary. Sometimes you will be able to sneak up behind enemies without any problems, then you can do exactly the same. The star fights, I think it's best to start with Crowd Walker either way. Late game has a very low cooldown. If you are close enough to an enemy, be in defensive stance for Clown Walker to slam down to slow the enemies and attack them. Then you can use your Staff of Legends in two ways. One, if you are getting attacked, to directionally jump out of there or to catch an enemy opponent up if they have used a blink or something, or just keep using the offensive stance to push them back. It will take a long time to get used to swapping stances and knowing what stance you are in, for example. However, this is a very forgiving hero with how easy it is to escape with him. Most of the gameplay you will be seeing is me making those mistakes, which is fine. Once mastered, he will become a very hard to lock down hero that can enter the backlines of the enemy team quickly and strike those weak heroes down, for example casters. People have been saying he is too strong. Well, I feel his abilities, especially Clown Walker, need something done. It can be activated at no minor cost really quickly. Yes, it has an 8-second cooldown, but by the time you use it, you only have 5 seconds left at level 4. It's so easy to escape with him, but crowd control can counter that. A good Deca player can stun him down, and with how weak it is, it can be game over very quickly. Secondly, for Wukong to be very successful, he needs to get ahead, so early game focus to disrupt his farming even if you don't kill him. Yes, with all his abilities, he can escape any gank really well, but even late game I see a lot of Wukongs not knowing how to play properly and just jumping around not dealing much damage at all, which is not the point of a carry in the end. My overall opinion is that he's a very forgiving hero to escape from death, however a hard hero to be effective for your team to deal good amounts of damage. That's what a carry should be doing, even if you play him in the off lane or jungle, which I'll get into in the weekend's video. I do like his kit and it is very hard to learn, but I feel with his very low mana cost and cooldown cost, I just wish something was done there so he can't spam his abilities without really any penalty. But that about does it for this video. Again, let me know what you think of Wukong and I will hopefully see you at the weekend for the next video, and see you next time guys.